Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to discuss what Gervonta Davis has proven in boxing and what he hasn't proven in boxing, because a lot of you are getting twisted.
Yo salgo a la calle buscando mi gente cuando de repente todos los delincuentes que queden en mi vida, buena mala suerte que son mi familia, no importa la sangre. Jesús y su agua en vino.
What has Gervonta Davis proven in boxing and what has he not proven in boxing? For starters, Gervonta Davis has proven that he's very talented. He's proven that he has power, that he has speed, that he's explosive. He's a really good counter puncher. He has good IQ. He's pretty versatile. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter. What Gervonta Davis has not proven in boxing is that he is a great fighter. Gervonta Davis hasn't proven that. A lot of people like to call Gervonta Davis a great fighter. Fact of the matter is, Gervonta Davis has fought one style of fighters. And that style of fighter Gervonta Davis has faced his whole career is a come-forward fighter. Every fighter he's fought is pretty much like that. Gervonta Davis hasn't fought a technical fighter. Gervonta Davis hasn't fought the best fighter in any division that he's been in. Gervonta Davis' best fight that best opponent he's actually fought has probably been Mario Barrios, and then second to that would probably be Ryan Garcia. Mario Barrios is a technical boxer, but Mario Barrios is more of a fighter. He's more of a puncher boxer. He's not really somebody who's going to utilize IQ to figure his opponent out and defeat them. One thing that a lot of people say about Gervonta Davis that they give him credit for, I'm not saying don't give him credit for this, but it's just to the extent that they give him credit for, is for being a 3-division world champion. What does it mean if you're a 3-division world champion and you haven't even beaten anybody that people really respect as a championship level fighter? At that point, it's just the accolade. It's just the title. You know what I mean? I get on Canelo for the same thing, but Canelo actually has beaten. Canelo's far more proven than Gervonta Davis. Now, I want to make a comparison in this, right? You know, when Gervonta Davis went up from 130 pounds for fighting, I think it was Leo Santa Cruz, and then he went straight up to 140 pounds and he fought Mario Barrios. That was impressive. That was impressive. There's not a lot of fighters that you see out there that can go from one weight division to another. But if you really break that down, yes, Leo Santa Cruz is a really good fighter who comes forward a lot and has that Mexican heart and that grit. And he knocked him out. That was a classic knockout. But he was a smaller guy at the end of the day. He was a smaller guy, a natural 126-pounder who was coming up, and Gervonta Davis was coming down. It wasn't like Gervonta Davis stepped into a 130-pound division and knocked out the best 130-pounder, and then went up to 140 to knock out the best 140-pounder, or one of the best 140-pounders. Because the fact of the matter is, Leo Santa Cruz was a good 130-pounder, but he wasn't one of the best 130-pounders. He was one of the best 126-pounders, not one of the best 130-pounders. Then he went up to 140 and fought Mario Barrios, but how good was Barrios at the same time? Because if Barrios would have faced off against one of the best 140-pounders, Barrios would have lost. Josh Taylor would have beat Barrios. Regis Prograis would have beat Barrios. Who's the other guy that I'm thinking of? I know it's Ramirez, something Ramirez. The one that Josh Taylor beat for undisputed at 140. He would have beat Barrios. As you can see, Barrios went up to 147 and fought Keith Thurman and kind of he got beat worse by Keith Thurman than he really did by Gervonta Davis, even though Gervonta Davis got the knockout on him. But then there's the arguments that Barrios was weight drained. Then you come to find out later after the Ryan Garcia fight that Barrios even had a rehydration clause put on him too for that fight. So how impressive is all of that? Once again, I'm not saying don't give Gervonta Davis credit. I feel he deserves credit for sure. It's impressive what he's done, just not to the level that people make it out to be. When you're the A side and you could fight anybody you want, because everybody wants to fight you because you the bag. So it's not impressive that you going around fighting dudes that ain't the best in their division and making a name for yourself off of that. You got the Floyd Mayweather banner over your head and you can get a fight with anybody. But you're choosing to fight guys that aren't really on that level. And Gervonta Davis is already 28. He's been on that level. Gervonta Davis is already primed out. The only thing Gervonta Davis needs is more experience. I'm not trying to talk crap about Gervonta Davis. I'm just saying, people talk about Gervonta Davis like he's like a great and all of this and that, whatever. I think he's a little bit gassed up. I think Gervonta Davis is still unproven on a certain level. I haven't seen Gervonta Davis fight a very technical fighter, a fighter that's going to utilize their IQ to also figure out the opponent and beat him, a complete fighter. I haven't seen him fight a nearly complete fighter. Every fighter Gervonta Davis fights is flawed some way or another. Either they don't got a lot of power, or they're weight drained, or they're not an IQ technical boxer. They're just a come-forward boxer. It's one style. Gervonta Davis has proven that he is very good at fighting a Mexican style fighter, a come forward fighter. Proven that he has knockout power. What is it, like I don't even know. It's like, what, 28, 29 fights, and I think only 2 guys didn't get knocked out. He got knockouts, you know what I mean? He's fast, he's explosive. You see it when he fights. He's definitely proven some things. Now, I want to make this comparison right here to put it in perspective for you guys, what greatness really looks like. Sugar Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns at 147. He fought one more time at 147. Then Sugar Ray Leonard went on a 2-year layoff. After that 2-year layoff, he came back to fight at 154. Then he went on a 3-year layoff. And after that 3-year layoff, he came back to fight Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the greatest middleweight of all time, and beat him. You see the difference? Coming off of years layoffs to come back and fight an all-time great and beat him. Now that's greatness when you're talking about you going from one weight division to another weight division after a 3-year layoff and beating an all-time great. Once again, I'm not saying don't give Gervonta Davis credit. I'm just saying that we got to be careful how we give this credit, because you can't just go around calling everybody a great, everybody's a great, this, that, great, whatever. Because then what does that make the guys that actually have done true great things in the sport of boxing? Now, all of that said and done, I do believe that Gervonta Davis has the potential to be an all-time great fighter. Absolutely, Gervonta Davis could be an all-time great fighter. But it still remains to be proven. I want to see it. I hope he does it. Gervonta Davis has the power in his hands, in my opinion, to save boxing, because he is one of the biggest faces of boxing, and he's one of the biggest cash cows in boxing. So that being said, if Gervonta Davis fights the right people, makes the best matches, he's the A-side probably no matter who he fights. So he has the power to fight whoever he wants to fight. If he fights the right people, Gervonta Davis can save boxing. He could save boxing, honestly. So Gervonta Davis has a lot of potential. He could do a lot. I just hope that he lives up to it. I hope he fights the right people, makes the right fights, and fights to his potential. But that's it, guys.
Yo salgo a la calle buscando mi gente cuando de repente todos los delincuentes que queden en mi vida, buena mala suerte que son mi familia, no importa la sangre. Jesús hizo agua en vino.